Did I resort to retail therapy to make myself feel better? Yes, I did. Hey guys, what's up? It's Mackenzie. Welcome back to the vlog. I have an unboxing to share with you today. I ordered a plant from Mountain Crest Gardens. Things have been rough out there lately. The news is a scary, scary place. The world is a scary, scary place. And I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to deal with sometimes. I'm sure we're all in the same boat at this point, but so I resorted to a little bit of retail therapy to make myself feel better. Is that the healthiest choice? Is that the most prudent choice? No, but here we are. So I am gonna open this box with you and I'll show you what I got. And yeah, I got a plant from, like I said, Mountain Crest Gardens. They're a nursery that specializes in desert plants, so cacti and succulents mostly. They do also carry some houseplants though. And I've always had a good experience with them. I'm using my kids' scissors right now and it's not the best choice for this, but they're working. It's just a little slow going. But anyway, yeah, I've always had a good experience with Mountain Crest Gardens, so I went with them again. I was looking for a specific plant and they were the only place I found that had it. I knew that this is a coral cactus. Ooh. So, all packaged. Took out a lot of paper shred. So, oh, there's a plant here and something else. Did I order two? And they also sent it in with a heat pack, so that keeps it warm while it's on its way. It doesn't feel very warm now, so hopefully they're okay. But then there's this. Oh, I did order two. So this is a Ripsalis, I'm gonna butcher the second part. Ceruscula? Coral cactus. That's really all you need to know. But it's super, oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. Oh, shoot, I dropped it. Oh, I dropped it and made a big mess. But here it is. But not just the cutest. So tiny. Obviously, it'll grow. But here's the name if you can read that better than, oh, focus. There we go. If you can read that better than I can pronounce it. So, that's what's in here. So I got into plants a couple years ago, and I had a ton at one point, like, I don't know, probably maybe 200. Here's the other one. But I got really burnt out on it really quickly. Those are adorable. One is a little, like it looks, I don't know if you can tell, but like one's a little bigger than the other one. Like the stems are thicker, fatter. So we'll see. It's probably just an older plant, but anyway, I got into plants a couple years ago, like I said, and I got burnt out on them and I killed a whole bunch of them. And now it's sort of cycling back and I'm getting back into plants. So that's kind of fun to come back to something and to just try some new stuff and try some different plants that I haven't tried before. And just like growing things is really exciting. It's really fun. This time around, I'm trying to take it a lot slower and be a little choosier, try some things differently. But it's really fun. It's just a great hobby and it's very rewarding to watch something grow and change and hopefully thrive under your care. Like that's just a great experience. So if you've never done plants, if you've never grown a plant yourself, I highly recommend giving it a shot. There's a lot of influencers, creators out there who have a lot of information. You can learn anything on the internet, so don't be afraid of it. Dive in, learn what you got, grow some stuff. It'll make you feel better, I promise. This week's a pretty normal week, finally. We've had a lot of stuff going on with the kids' school. Catholic Schools Week was this past week, so we're a little tired. It's nice to have an off week to recover and recharge a little bit, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I am at the thrift store. I'm hoping to find some stuff for my plant room, but I also always want to check out the books. And it's January, so I'm gonna look through their like fitness clothing just because that's the time of year I feel like when everybody is going through that. So I don't know. I'll see if there's anything good for running in there. But yeah, there's also a Lowe's and a Home Depot pretty close by, so I might swing by one or maybe both of those and check out their plant section. Like I said, it's January, so I'm not super confident that they're gonna have anything, but never hurts to look, and I'm here, so I might go through that. That was reasonably successful. I didn't get a ton of stuff, but I did pick up a couple things. So first I grabbed this bowl. I really like these for like a drip tray situation in my plant room because they're just prettier than the plastic ones. And then I also grabbed a bigger like punch bowl thing. Also could be a drip tray for like a much larger plant, but I also like to put a trailing plant inside them, like a pothos or something. I have another one that I have done that with, and I really like that. So I used to have a pothos planted in one, like dirt all right in there, but I can't drill holes in it, so I was always really nervous that it was going to root rot it. So now I just put the pot in it and kind of use it like a cover pot, but again, it looks really pretty and just something different in my plant room. So I got those, and then I also found A Good Neighborhood by Therese Ann Fowler. I remember when this came out, looking at it and thinking that it sounded really good, but I never grabbed it, but it was at the thrift store, so I picked it up this time. It's about like these two neighbors. One is new to the neighborhood and there's some conflict there, but their kids are there's a budding romance, it says. But I really like the end of the synopsis. So it says, a good neighborhood asks big questions about life in America today. What does it mean to be a good neighbor? How do we live alongside one another when we don't see eye to eye? As it explores the effects of class, race, and heart-rending love in a story that's as provocative as it is powerful. Like, that little bit alone sold me. So I'm excited to read that. Then the last thing I grabbed was just Julie of the Wolves for my mostly oldest, but if my middleest wants to read it too. They're big bookworms, and my oldest really likes adventure stories. She really liked Hatchet, My Side of the Mountain. I feel like there's a sequel to My Side of the Mountain that she also read. Is that right? Am I making that up? I don't remember. But she likes adventure stories, so I thought she'd like this one too. I'm hoping she hasn't already read it. I feel like maybe we already have this, but if we do, we now have another copy. I don't know. So, like I said, it was a reasonably successful trip. Not super, like a ton of stuff, but some useful, good things. So, I'm going to take all this inside now and get my run done for the day, so. Okay. I am doing a little meal planning now. This is like one of my least favorite tasks, but honestly, life is so much easier when it's done. So I try to make myself do it because I thank myself later. So what I've done is I've gone through all of my Pinterest boards and just picked out a couple recipes. I usually do 10. Very high tech, write them on a little sticky note. And then I go through the recipes and put the ingredients that we need into a Walmart cart, and then we order our groceries through Walmart and we just go pick them up. We do 10 meals because, sorry, I've got cats playing around. 10 meals just because that usually takes us about 2 weeks. And then there's always days where something comes up or we eat leftovers or whatever, and we don't eat a whole new meal that day. So 10 is usually pretty good. I also just keep it on a sticky note like this. I don't assign certain meals to certain days because my brain instantly rebels when I do that, and I will never eat anything that we've planned if I do it that way. So just having the list, it's like I treat it like a menu, and so then whatever sounds best that day is what we're going to eat. We get to pick, and then eventually we get through all of them, and sometimes, you have to just make yourself eat something you don't really want, but that is part of being a grown-up, so it's okay. So that's just what I'm doing right now. I'm going through the recipes, picking out ingredients that we need to stock up on or whatever, and putting together our grocery order. I'm kind of telling myself that once I'm done with this, I can go do like a craft or something so that I have something to look forward to when I'm finished and make myself do it. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I also usually try to stick to recipes that we have mostly recipes that we have already done and we know how to make. I do like to throw in 1 or 2 new ones almost every time just because we get bored. The kids don't like it though. Whenever we tell them tonight we're trying a new recipe, I get, oh, new one. I hate new recipes. But I will say our kids are very good eaters for the most part. The younger they get, the pickier they are. But the older kids are very good eaters and will at least try most things. And I think it's a direct result of us forcing them to eat weird stuff all the time. But it's worked for us. Sometimes I'll also get enough to make a certain recipe twice if I know that the ingredients won't spoil. So if it doesn't have like spinach or something that's going to go bad really easily, I will sometimes just double the supplies and then we can eat it twice. So once this is all done, I will place my order and we'll go pick it up from Walmart. I have not done like I have not regularly gone into a store for grocery shopping since the pandemic. Like grocery pickup is the greatest thing to have come out of that ever. Like if you ever shopped with kids or when you're hungry and have kids with you, like it's just awful. So grocery pickup is perfect, like amazing. I love it so much. Okay, and then we'll go pick it up and bring it home, put it away, and we should have 2 full weeks of meals ready to go. Okay, I just finished meal planning and I thought we could open my book of the month box while I'm sitting here. I think I only got 2 books this month, which has been kind of unusual. I've gotten more recently, pretty consistently, but we're backing off a little bit. That's okay. Oh, it's so pretty. So the first one I got is Good People by Patmina Sabat. Sorry if I mispronounced that. And if I remember right, yeah, so this is like a refugee family comes and they have worked really hard and they've kind of established themselves in their new country. And then a tragedy strikes and we're talking about like how they are perceived after that and what they have to deal with after that tragedy happens. I don't know. This one sounded really, really good. Literary fiction. Yeah, just plus look at that cover. Like that cover is stunning. So I just want to read you a piece of the synopsis of this one because it sounds amazing. So like a literary game of ping pong, Good People compels the reader to reconsider what might have happened even on the previous page. Told through a kaleidoscope of perspectives, it is a riveting, provocative, and haunting story of family, sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, and the communities that claim us as family in difficult times. Does that just not sound incredible? I cannot wait to read this. The other one I got is A Good Animal by Sarah Maurer, and this one sounds really good. There are these two young kids, and they are a couple, and they live in this small town, and one of them is very like tied to the land and to that heritage and wants to stay, and the other one very much like wants to go out and see the world and explore and have adventures in her life and all this stuff. And so there's a lot of, tension there, and then something happens. Says together they make an impulsive choice, one that could change everything. This is a debut novel, so I'm really interested to check this author out. And the story sounds really great. Plus, they've been doing these bookmarks. It's like their 100th anniversary year, so all of the bookmarks are based on older classic novels that they have released previously. So this one is Nectar in a Sieve by Kamala Markandeya from 1954. Never heard of it, but there we go. So yeah. Otherwise, normally their bookmarks have like a cheeky little saying on them. They're not that great. Some of them are cute. Some of them are really dumb. But so just something a little different this time. Time to do a little crafty business. I finished my meal planning. So now I'm going to let myself I got this paint by number. It's this cute little scene. I don't know how well you can see that. Sorry. Of just like books and a cute chair and a plant. And yeah. So I thought that while I did this, we could talk a little bit about reading and what I have been reading so far this year. get this open. Oh, okay. So it comes with all of the paint in numbered little tubs, some paint brushes, and hanging hardware. I have smaller brushes though that I think I'll probably get out for this because I've never actually done a paint by number before, but I have always heard that you should buy extra small detail brushes because what they give you is almost never enough. And then let's see. So we have the image printed on a canvas. This looks really complicated. And the canvas is kind of folded at this. Whoa, this is really big. And then you get a guide image on a piece of paper for reference. The canvas has a little bit of color in each section. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to use the guide. Like, is it as you're painting and you cover up numbers and stuff so you can still see where they were? Maybe. The wrinkles in the canvas are going to be a little bit of a problem. I'm wondering if I shouldn't like iron it. Can you iron canvas? I'll have to look that up. Where's my phone? I don't know. I'll have to look that up and find out. Anyway, while I'm doing this, I'm not going to iron it right away because I'm lazy and I don't want to. But maybe I'll iron parts that I haven't painted after this and see if that goes well. I don't know. We'll find out. So I started the year off reading. Hang on, I need to grab some brushes. Lots of options. I started the year off reading Frozen River by Ariel Lawton, which was really great. I'd never read an Ariel Lawton before. It's a historical fiction about a woman who is a midwife in her town, and she kind of gets caught up in some drama and basically, you know, historical accuracy. Women are not respected or cared for, so rape is not addressed properly. And she kind of gets swept up in the drama surrounding that. And there's a murder mystery, and it's actually really interesting and really intriguing. So that was a lot of fun. And then I also, because I enjoyed that so much, followed up and read another Ariel Lawton, and I don't know if I'm saying her name right, so sorry if I'm not and you know better. But I read I Was Anastasia, which I believe was her first novel. I could be wrong. But that was about a woman based on a true story, and so was The Frozen River, by the way. But it was based on a woman who claimed to be the Grand Duchess Anastasia after the royal family was murdered, and kind of follows her story. That one was really interesting because you know from history how that turned out and what was true and what wasn't true. But I loved the ending. Like, the ending, and I think maybe even it was like the epilogue or the author's note or something, but the way that she talked about why she wrote that and the way you think about the main character just gets completely twisted there at the end, and it is just like completely mind-blowing. I love the ending. So that one was really great, and I would totally recommend it. I now also have Codename Helene on my TBR because of that, also by Ariel Lawton. Like, possible new favorite author? I don't know. She's done some really good stuff that I've enjoyed. I'm gonna like do this and then never get started, am I? Should I start with the top right or the top left? I am right-handed, so probably the top left. And it's gonna have to kind of sit in my lap a little bit while I work. After that, I also read, sorry, hang on. Let's find a color to kind of start with. Should probably have, I am not prepared at all. I don't have like a tissue. I don't have water. Hang on a second. Okay, we're a little bit more prepared now. I think I'm going to start, with 15? How do you start these? Like, if you're a paint by number pro, do you just like pick one number, one color, and do as much of that as you can? Because that was my inclination, but like, stuff is so spread out that I don't know if that's really a good idea. Ugh. Okay, well, we're going to try it and we'll see what happens here. So yeah, I really enjoyed the Lawton books. I love a good historical fiction. I have kind of decided, I mean, I knew this. I love Kate Quinn, but they're never ones for some reason when I'm like looking for a new book to read. That's just not where my brain goes. I'm not like, let's check out the historical fiction. But I totally should because I love it. I think I am a little wary because they can also be so cheesy if it's not done well. And I like to learn things, so I like it if it's well researched. When we watched Rain, about Mary Queen of Scots and her husband when she was married to the King of France. And that was really fun. It's completely historically inaccurate. Do not go into that thinking that you're going to learn anything from the show itself. But we spent a lot of time Googling and finding out, okay, is that true? No, it's not. Where are the inaccuracies? What is the real story? And that was really entertaining. So I kind of like to do that when I'm reading books too. But I also don't want to have to work that hard if I'm not in the mood to go for a lot of Googling. So like, be kind of accurate. I don't really know what I'm saying here. I'm making this up. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to be looking. If you have any favorite historical fiction novels, send them my way because I'd love some recommendations. I've read a lot of, well, not a lot maybe, but a bunch of World War II novels, which is really fun. Kate Quinn's The Alice Network is such a good World War II novel about a female spy network in France. Oh, so good. So if you've never read it, read that. Absolutely. But I'd like some other recommendations to kind of branch out beyond that also. So if you've got good suggestions, absolutely share them. I also read, So I Hear You've Called in Dead, or I Hear You've Called in Dead by John Kenney. It's about a guy who is an obituary writer at a newspaper, and his life has kind of taken a turn. His wife has left him. He is very lonely. He's kind of middle-aged and stuck in what he views as a dead-end job that doesn't mean anything, etc., etc. So he one night gets drunk and publishes his own obituary on the newspaper website. And it's completely overblown. Like, he claims that he invented Post-it or something. It's not Post-it, it's something else. But like things that are wildly inaccurate and totally obviously not true. And he's obviously not dead. So he faces an inquiry at work whether or not he's going to lose his job, and you follow him as he deals with the aftermath of this, and you get to know his landlord / friend who is in a wheelchair and paralyzed from the waist down. And it's one of those like life affirming books about how to live and how to be in relationships with people and what matters in life and blah, 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 that kind of thing. It's really good. It's slow moving. It's very character driven, not plot driven. So if that's not your thing, then I wouldn't recommend it. But if that is your thing and you like sort of reflective, emotional books, then that one would be a good one for you too. He has another one called Love Letters for Married People. That sounds kind of interesting. So I may pick that up now that I finished this one. It's a previous one that he's written, but we'll see. I am making such slow progress on this. I'm trying to be really careful and like stay in the lines and make sure I get it all correct, painted correctly, but this whole thing is going to take a really long time at this rate. Maybe that's a good thing though. Lots of calm painting time. I'm currently reading Anatomy of an Alibi by Ashley Elston. It's her newest one. And it's okay so far. I'm almost actually all the way through it. It's one of those books where you kind of guess what you think is the twist almost right out of the gate, but then you're wrong. So in that sense, like, love that. But I also am I haven't gotten to the point where I have figured out the next twist yet. I have an idea, but it hasn't been revealed. And like, if I'm wrong and it goes a totally other direction, great book. But if I'm right, then it's just too predictable. But I don't know yet. So I guess it's doing its job. Like, I'm hooked, I'm reading it. So in that sense, it's great. But we'll see how it turns out. I love a good thriller also. So I like literary fiction, historical fiction, good psychological thriller. Not much on horror. I've read a couple, but I prefer a psychological thriller, I think, over horror. I keep having to look at the paint tub to remind myself what number I'm working on, because once it's painted, you can't see it anymore. Well, you kind of can once it dries. It might need 2 coats in an ideal world. I don't know if I'm going to want to do that, though. I'm really excited. I also just got a kit to make some needle felted coasters that look like houseplant leaves. We've done some needle felting in our house a couple times. When we homeschooled, I took the girls to a alpaca sheep, I think they had both, farm where we did the tour. We talked about wool, how sheep are raised and sheared and all of that stuff. And then we went and did a needle felting craft with the woman who runs it. She's also an artist. So she does really pretty wool. I think it's called wool painting, but it's like a needle felted piece of art, like a picture made of felt. And it is so neat. But you can also do like sculptures. She made like dolls and stuff. Those were a little creepy, but all kinds of stuff out of wool felted wool, sorry. And it's not hard. It looks like it's hard, but it's not hard to do. I'm sure mastering it is crazy difficult and takes a lot of time, but like the basics are not super hard to grasp. My kids did it. So I got that kit because I kind of want to try my hand at that and see how that goes. And if it goes well, maybe I'll try some other stuff too. I don't know. There's really cool. I would like to do like a art piece, like a picture made of felted wool, and do that for like a Christmas gift or something for someone. That would be really cool. Or Christmas ornaments. That would be awesome. So maybe we'll do that together too. Not now. It's January. I don't need to be thinking about next Christmas, but when we get closer. Okay, I only have a couple percent battery left, but I definitely underestimated how intricate and difficult this is. I already need a break because my hand is kind of cramping from holding the little paintbrush really tight, and my neck is starting to hurt from being hunched over. So while this is really fun, like it's really fun, I'm not sure how long-term and sustainable this is. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find a better way to do this because I can't be hunched over this whole time for this entire picture. I will kill my back. So we'll see. But so far, the teeny tiny little bit that I have done is really cute. I did discover that this guide paper is it's not right. Like the numbers and the sections, the shapes and stuff don't match up at all. So this is going to be completely useless, which is kind of a bummer. But at least they're on the canvas. I don't know. Am I totally out of luck with that? I have no idea. We'll find out. But